gentlemen, my guest today is Mr. Anthony Michael Caprioli, the Commercial Director and Board Member for Colines, joining in from Novara, Italy. Anthony has served as the Managing Director of Maki and has been on the board of Amaplast, the Italian Plastic Producer and Technologies Association. A very warm welcome to you, Anthony, to the show Insights with Nidhi.
Pleasure to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Anthony, Italy has been probably the most seriously affected countries in the world. I hope the situation is in control now.
We will rephrase that, one of the worst hit countries in the world. In Europe.
Yes, correct.
Actually, yes, the situation was very dramatic in late February. We went into lockdown, as everybody knows. We've out of that, the first, second phase, we're entering the third phase now, which started officially on Monday. So that means that all the restrictions that were in place have been lifted, except for restrictions on travel out of the European area, which would be the Shenzhen area. So things are looking up for sure. Yes, getting better. Slowly but surely getting back to normal, put it that way.
Yes, I think that is a very positive note. We understand that by an Italian decree, the plastic machinery manufacturers in Italy were allowed to operate. How did Amaplast kind of manage it?
Amaplast were quite instrumental in the fact that they were giving total support to companies who had a very hard time in trying to work out the government guidelines, because you must understand the context in which everything happened and how quick everything happened, because everyone was hit with this big emergency they didn't know how to handle. So they were very supportive and instrumental in interacting with government entities on a state and local basis to get things working, to understand who could actually open and could not open, because it wasn't very clear at the time. So it was everyone was hit psychologically more than anything to start off with.
Yeah.
Then we came to terms with it and we started working as normal. And they were very supportive, absolutely, yes, absolutely. And they still are being supportive. Because it's basically everything has been sped up to there's a big paradigm shift, because the company had to be reorganized to guarantee social distancing. All the offices have been changed around, who can work from home in smart working, as they call it, working from home. But activities that we do on a daily basis, which is basically making machinery, can't be done, but they must be done here. So we had to reorganize the factory in order to work in compliance with safety regulations to ensure the safety of our workers, first of all, the well-being of their families, and to guarantee the satisfaction of our customers, because the customers need their machinery. I mean, according to the program, production program, which we are managing to respect.
Yes, I think this pandemic has made everyone rise to such levels of efficiency and operating around that no one could imagine they were capable of.
Unseen before, yes, unimaginable, yes.
Absolutely, yeah. How did Colines as an organization kind of make up for all the restrictions and the subsequent troubles that the pandemic posed to the organization operations?
Well, actually, initially it was quite difficult, but then we sat down and we worked things out, because fortunately we work with a lot of agencies worldwide as well. Therefore, we have delocalized sales teams and service teams as well. A case of which, like in India, so we managed to give sales support, technical support, and service support. Even though there are some difficulties we had to overcome, but we are working on it, and things start to be working in the right direction. Absolutely, yes.
So you're able to
customers realize the difficulties that everybody's facing, so they're very, very cooperative in this.
Yes, I think everyone is understanding.
We're working together as a team, so things have changed. We're doing a lot of test runs virtually through like we're doing now, through video, sending off samples of the product. And they're testing the product, therefore we're getting the okay to ship the lines, because every single line we make are tested in-house prior to shipment. So not physically the customer's not physically being able to come here, we are virtually going to them, as it were. So it's starting to work, Well, over the last 3 months, we've successfully tested 3 lines per month.
How many, sorry?
3.
3 lines,
3 lines per month.
Are you going to?
We're working on, we have basically 3 productive areas. We have 3 factories where we produce lines. So every single line is basically, every single factory is a business unit where we produce specific types of lines. So we've just followed through with our normal production schedule. We lost time the first week, first 10 days, then we picked up rapidly.
That's
people are going the extra mile.
Yes, but I think 10 days is nothing. They have been in India, we've been under lockdown for the last 3 months. So you have kind of come back pretty quickly. Anthony?
No, notwithstanding the lockdown situation, so.
Absolutely. Anthony, the changes that you've made, as you said, you know, because you had to get into the customer through the e-modules and through the videos. Is that going to be the new norm going forward? Or is going to be mix and match of the old as well as this?
It's going to be more of the second, mix and match, I'd say. Yeah. We've sped up the digitalization process, absolutely. We are making more use of the video to guide our customers through work processes, yes.
Okay. Though Italy has sprung back to kind of normalcy, but international travel is still restricted. So how far do you see that, how many kind of months do you see when you will be able to reach your customers where physical presence is really required?
We think hopefully everything plays out as it seems to be playing out. By late September, early October, we'll be able to freely travel, no problems, and to actually be present where required. But in the meantime, we will make up for this lack that we actually are forced to actually have by remotely or sending test technicians that we have locally, like in the States, in India itself, in Europe. So we have people stationed around the world that can actually give support.
Okay, so that's
one of the issues now. One of the issues now is not being able. Customers cannot receive technicians. That is one of them. Maybe we have the resources, human resources available to go, but they can't actually physically enter the premises. But things are changing rapidly. It's very quick, as you know yourself. So
yes.
We're there. We're ready when required. Yes, we're ready to run.
Ready to run, all with our sprinting shoes on.
Yes.
Colines has been conducting many virtual tours of your facilities. How has been the response across the countries for that?
Overwhelming, to be honest with you. Very, very. A lot of customers have called in to say, "Oh, we really appreciate it. We see that you're there." I mean, how did you manage to do stuff like that? Not in such a very difficult situation, trying situation, but it's yes. People appreciate it. Plus, they manage to see the scope of the company as well, which has given us a great opportunity. Maybe in other times we would not have even thought of doing such a thing, because you would have customers coming in to physically visiting the facilities. But this gives us a way to. It's a means of showing what we're actually doing now in this difficult situation.
That's a very warm news to hear. Anthony, how does the order book of 2020 for Colines look to you? Have people delayed picking up the machines or any cancellation of orders because your customers have also gone into kind of losing quarters in countries like India, where the lockdown has gone into full 3 months?
We have had no cancellations of orders whatsoever. No, that's nothing, which is great. We have slight delays in shipping machinery, yes, for some specific areas of the world, because unfortunately, or fortunately, it hasn't hit all the countries in the same way. So we have slight delays, but they're just technical issues that can be overcome. No great problems,
Excellent. So only a little delay, but we are all on track. That's wonderful news.
Within a month, put it that way.
Okay. Colines also supplies lines for hygienic material, which is, did it see a huge spurt of demand during the pandemic?
Yes, we did, because plastics in itself, the perception of plastics has changed because it's protective. It's seen as a shield between you and any potential threat of infection. So there's a lot of inquiries. There's a boom in the specific use of plastics to protect foods, whatever it may be. Any product that be wrapped in plastic, yes, to keep it safe, to keep you as a user safe, and the product itself safe.
Yes,
and not contaminated. That is the key word here.
Correct. Any of your verticals that has seen a dip?
We've had a spike in demand for CPP lines, but the other inquiry levels of machine is quite stable. Yes, quite stable.
For the barrier cast film lines, that is also stable?
Absolutely, yes. Which is high in itself. The level is high in itself, yes.
Anthony, how the pandemic has changed the perception of plastics in Europe?
Well, as you know, plastics, there was a war against plastics up until late February, which was understandable for certain, from that perspective, absolutely. Now, plastic, as I said before, is being perceived as a shield between you and any potentially contaminated surfaces. And therefore, there has been basically like a counter order. People are changing and they need plastics to ensure health issues, to ensure that the public are safe. So that is the given case. But the global trend would be, obviously, plastics must be recyclable, therefore.
Yes.
That is something we are well aware of, and we're working in that direction, because this might be just emotional for the time being. But the long-term story is plastics must be sustainable. So everything we make, our lines must make products that are eco-friendly, that aren't seen as the enemy of the environment. So that's why we're working on with our R&D department and customers to work out products that can be sustainable, and in the same time give extra added value to our customers.
So you're putting a lot of focus on specific applications also, if the customers would want, over your products.
Absolutely, yes, yes, yes.
Anthony, what is your opinion about the demand of the plastics market in the next quarters to come? Is it going to go back to the pre-COVID levels, or you would see an increase in demand worldwide?
Well, depending on specific governments' strategic views for the long term, we think that there will be extra demand. Okay. We see extra demand, yes. And a lot of our customers are telling us that their governments are thinking about putting in place programs to guarantee, have reserves in place to avoid being in a situation where they will have no specific products in case there's another pandemic. An example of which being in the States, their policy is they're thinking about having a plan called inshore instead of outsourcing. So inshore is play on words, inshore, make sure the resources are there locally. There's a lack of masks, a lack of protective gowns. There's a lack of everything, and everyone was caught unawares, and they had no weapons. They had nothing to shield themselves from the risk, this invisible enemy. So that is one of the reasons why we see that we need specific products to protect us. Absolutely, yes. So we see an increase in this demand.
Perfect.
But the plastics that are produced need to be recyclable. They need to be environmentally friendly as well.
So that comes with an underlining. The demand has to be met, but yes, they have to be biodegradable. Absolutely. Everyone should understand them in the deep-rooted mention. Anthony, in India, the plastics consumption is growing over 1 million metric tons per year, with the more focus on the packaging front. How important is the Indian market for Colines?
Well, the Indian market for Colines is extremely important. It's a key market. Actually, we have 90% market share of European imported lines, of course. Okay. The main play we have in India would be CPP lines, even though we have all types of installation, from stretch lines to bubble guard, we have everything there. But the main line that is basically we sell to India are CPP lines. Yes.
Okay.
We have a great service, sales, and after sales team there. So we have the real deal working in India. Yes, it's one of our key markets, and we plan to keep it that way for the long term.
It's very good to hear that we are your center of focus, Anthony. Do you have any new products in the pipeline that you are planning to launch? Any more vertical lines that you are planning to launch worldwide or in India?
We are seriously reconsidering our blown film strategy. Okay. Because we realize we do produce blown film lines. As it stands today, blown film lines are obviously not our core business, but since there is a massive demand for blown film lines worldwide, we are reconsidering our strategy, and we are working on it. Yes.
Okay. We'll be looking forward.
We're looking forward to selling some lines very soon.
I'm saying, what will be your message to the customers here in India who will be watching this video, and to the other packaging fraternity here in India from Colines, Italy?
We would like to thank you for supporting us during this very difficult times. We feel for you in this situation at the moment, because we understand you're in a lockdown, and we understand, trust us, we understand the situation. We're there for you. All our customers supporting us as well. We stand by our product, we stand by our customers, and as soon as this situation, there's some respite, we will be visiting again and having customers coming again as it was before. And hopefully we'll look at this as just a bad memory.
Absolutely. Better forgotten the better. But what is going to carry forward is the new way of working that we all are going to learn, more productive through different means, and also new applications. Anthony, we are going to thank you as well as the entire Colines team for making India as your focus, and thank you for supporting all your customers the best way you can. And we'll be looking forward to meet up with you and interact with you as soon as possible. Thank you to the entire team of Colines. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. Goodbye. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. You too. Thank you. Goodbye.
Don't miss any video from Insights with Nidhi. Subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon at the bottom of the video.